Welcome to the insane return on investment potential of commercial solar lead generation. In this program, we're going to be covering the essential skills of setting up an automated prospecting system for your business. As a solar sales consultant, your goal is to sell commercial solar systems to medium to large companies, and having a strong base of prospects forms a fantastic foundation for your business. Not only will it consistently feed your pipeline, but it also gives you access to mid and larger sized companies with larger budgets as they understand solar as an investment. In this course, we'll be using cold email outreach as a highly effective way of getting in front of decision makers in these companies, whether that's operations directors, chief financial officers, or in some cases, sustainability officers. When done correctly, cold email can be 10 times or even 100 times cheaper than paid advertising to book meetings. This method is much more effective than traditional advertising money, as you have full control, can accurately track your numbers, and forecast the future. We will be going step by step through the process of setting up your automated system, the benefits, and the templates you'll need. By the end of this course, you'll have an automated system in place that allows you to prospect on autopilot. Welcome to Cold Email for Commercial Solar: How to Build Your List. In this module, we will be discussing the most important aspect of your lead generation process, building your list of prospects. If you don't have anyone to send your emails to, then you're going to be pretty stuck. As a solar sales consultant, it's essential to have a list of potential clients to reach out to in order to grow your business. So there's two main ways you can build your list. You can either work with a list builder, who you typically pay per contact, or you can use lead finding software yourself to get their contact information. Both options have their pros and cons, and we'll be discussing them in detail in this module. We'll also be going through the process of researching and finding the right companies, as well as the best practices for building and maintaining your list. This module is crucial to the success of your automated lead generation process and will help you create a steady flow of qualified prospects that you can reach out to via cold email. So firstly, working with a list builder. You don't want to produce just any old prospect list. You want a list of qualified leads that are medium to large companies. You could do this yourself if you wanted to manually go through a platform. But for many people, the best process for doing this is to actually work with a list builder and have them do this for you. They know what they're looking at, and they have multiple different tools they can use. And if you find the right one, they're much faster and better at it. We recommend hiring the list building person on Upwork. The key to success is your ability to effectively communicate exactly what you're looking for the prospect list. Communication is essential when it comes to working with that list builder. You want to target the decision makers and catch their attention. You can provide a list of example companies, or something that's worked well in the past is providing a list of conference vendors for the list builder to source from. That is quite an effective way of doing so. When it comes to working with that list builder, we want to incentivize them based on quality, not necessarily quantity. By offering a bonus structure on low response rates, for example, if you want your base rate below 5%, if they get a 2% burnout rate, give them a bonus and reward them for this. We want to challenge them to build a quality list. Take the time to train them well and monitor them through the duration of their employment. Treat them well and reward them. They're putting bread on your table, and they're going to be one of the main sources of your deals. So take care of them. Your next steps are to identify your target market, post the job posting and shortlist candidates, communicate your requirements to the list builder, and request a sample. Some good industries to go after are any that have high fixed electricity load. So that could be things like commercial bakeries, anything where there's large amounts of refrigeration involved, server farms, or many different types of manufacturing. In addition to working with a list builder, another option for building your list of commercial solar prospects is to use software. There's several software options available, such as Apollo, AnyMail Finder, and Closely. Each one of these software options has its own set of pros and cons. Using software instead of a list builder to create your prospect list does have its own pros and cons. So the pros are that it can be easier to use your own software than manage a bunch of people. And if you get your process dialed in, it can be much more automated. But then the downsides are that it can take more of your time to set up compared with working with a list builder. The quality sometimes isn't as high you will still have to manually go through and filter things to some extent. And some software has limits on the bulk exports of email. For example, in Apollo, you can typically only export 50 at a time, and then you have to manually go through and select more. So it can be a little bit labor intensive. Keep in mind that when you're using software to build your own list, it's important to find the software that works best for you and your business. Closely, for example, is my personal favorite as it's user-friendly and has LinkedIn functionality built in as well, which we'll get to in one of the later modules. Anymail Finder is also good, but that typically is more for if you want to pay as you go rather than having a fixed monthly amount that you're paying. So if you want to do a big bulk search for leads 1 month and then put them in the email system and not be paying that monthly fee, then Anymail Finder is one of the options that could work well. It's important to note that whichever option you choose, whether it be working with a list builder or using software, it is crucial that you take the time to train the person well, or in the case of software, monitor it closely and filter things manually yourself as well throughout the duration of the process to ensure that you are getting the highest quality list of commercial solar prospects possible. So instead of just talking about it, I thought I'd show you. So let's say I wanted to find the appropriate person to talk to and reach out to via cold email at this cool company that makes these robots that are maybe going to kill us all one day. So that's Boston Dynamics. So if I go over to Anymail Finder first, because that's kind of the simpler tool here, and I put in Boston Dynamics as the company, and then I probably want like maybe the CFO. I'm going to put a couple in here: Chief Finance Officer. And maybe operations director, something like that. Let's try that. And then I'm going to click search people. Cool. So we've got a few different people here. So we've got the CEO, operations manager. So, you could probably get both of these and then have like a slightly different approach for each one. So if I want to get the CEO email, then I just click get email, and you only have to pay when you actually get a valid email back. That's pretty simple, but obviously, this is a little bit more labor intensive because you do have to know the company that you want to go after. You can upload a list of companies if you already have some kind of list. So for example, I mentioned conferences. So if there's like, say, a specific industry conference, let's say like commercial bakers, and you know that, okay, most of these companies, they're going to be able to really benefit from commercial solar. You could grab a list of those companies, upload them in here, and then it would give you a list back of the finance officers and whichever people you want to go after. So that's Anymail Finder. So just go to anymailfinder.com and sign up. Like I said, one of the benefits is that it's a credit-based system. So although it says per month, you can just pay for 1 month, and then whichever credits you don't use will still be available for as long as you need them. So if you just want to do a bulk and then not use it for a while, then that makes it a bit easier. So I'm going to show you Closely, because that's a little bit more flexible. So this is what Closely looks like. And obviously, it has some of the LinkedIn functionality as well, which we'll go into in another video. But for now, I'm just going to focus on the lead finder functionality here. So from what I can tell, their database is based on LinkedIn. So if you're going after people that have LinkedIn profiles, then this is the tool that's going to work well for you. So what you want to do is go Chief Financial Officer. There's some other similar ones. I'm just going to click a bunch of those. And then I'm going to put location, United States, company size, let's say 11 to 50 and 51 to 200. And you can narrow it down by industry as well. So maybe, let's see if there's any that we like here. Maybe food production. Let's try that. And then click search. And it's going to take a little while, but basically it's going to give you a list here. So we've got 569 people. At the moment, because I haven't run this search before, everything is under all records. But if you had run a similar search, you can also filter it so it's only showing you leads that you haven't exported or you haven't viewed before inside here. So you can see I can actually get the phone numbers for some of these as well. There's the LinkedIn profile and email address. So what you can do is just click select all, and then you can click open and save. And if you want to do more in one go, then you can do up to 500 in one go. I mean, I recommend doing batches, depending on the approach you're taking, whether you're going for more of a bulk approach or more of a personalized approach, then obviously, that's going to determine how many you export. If I was going for personalized ones, I'd probably go for batches of 100. And that's so if you're writing the intro lines yourself, or if you're working with a researcher, then it's easier to compare the results if you're doing those batches of 100. So that's pretty much all there is to it. You just need to click open and save, and then create a list. So I'm going to go CFOs, mid-size food companies. Create that and select that list, and then click open and save. And it's going to take a little while. So you can see now it's made all these email addresses available, taken from my credits there. And that's pretty much it. So what I would then do is go into this list, and there is a built-in email tool inside Closely, but I actually prefer a tool called Lemlist. I think it's a little bit more advanced, and it has some other features which are really important, which we'll get into the technical setup video. But basically, this is a straightforward way to do it. You just export to CSV and save that. If you do want to do the email campaigns all inside Closely and save yourself, one last step you want to do before you export this is click verify emails when you have them all selected. And that's going to narrow the list down to emails which are definitely safe to send, because, and again, we'll get into it in the technical setup video, but what you don't want to do is have lots of emails which bounce. So that means when you're sending emails and they are not the right address, or they're getting marked as spam by the email server. If you have too many emails that you're sending bounce back, then that's going to mean that it creates problems for your email sending account, basically. So you don't want to do that. But this simple step avoids that. It does take a little while, so I'm going to skip over this for now. But basically, all you need to do is go to Lead Finder, search, create a list, and then export to CSV, and then you can get that into whatever tool you're using to actually send the emails. Like I said, I recommend Lemlist. Welcome to the module Cold Email for Commercial Solar, Writing Emails That Work, in our course on cold email secrets. In this module, we're going to be covering how to write an incredibly effective cold email when it comes to selling commercial solar systems to medium to large companies. So the golden rule of cold email is to never sell in the email. Your goal is to book a call, not to make the sale. Our strategies have been developed from what works, as well as listening to our clients on sales calls that were booked through emails. Now, there's 5 key components of our email copy that we're going to be focusing on in this module. So firstly, the subject line, and you can keep it pretty simple here. And I like this subject line here, quick question. Sometimes it actually works better if you put it in lowercase. You can test out different things. You can put the company name in. So one thing that sometimes people do is put, your company, and then 2 little arrows, and then their company name and intro, things like this. But, I've used this quick question, and I know other people use it as well. And sometimes people do end up with a few quick question emails in their inbox. But then also a lot of people that aren't sending cold emails use that headline too, use that subject line as well. So, it still works. The second is technically optional, and you can get away with sending more emails. You're just going to find that the response rate is a lot lower if you don't include this personalization. So I like to do this. It does take a bit of work. It is possible to get some help doing this. So we'll talk about that later. But, here's an example one. So you want to say something genuinely personal, not too creepy and weird, but, just people post things about themselves online. They write blogs. They have company posts. So it only takes a minute or two to find something that you can potentially connect with them over. And sometimes that's just a location that they're based in. So maybe you're in the same town, that could be quite straightforward. But here, what I've given them an example is, hi, whoever,
saw you spend some time in Kenya volunteering. I was actually over there a couple of years ago working on a project for Bono. Have some stories about baboons stealing my lunch. Do you have any similar experiences? So it's just something, again, people are going to post that they went volunteering. That's something they want to go show off. It's not really creepy to reference that. And if you do have something that you can connect over, then it's always good to include a question in there. So it's actually something for them to respond to. And I find that, I do get responses where people are, at least, even if they're saying no to the offer, they're still responding and, they're not just clicking spam. The third point is the pain. So this absolutely has to go in there. So what I've said next in the email is, my name is Duncan and I run X solar company. We work with steel companies, like their company name, to help you reduce or eliminate your monthly electric cost. So this is the pain. The monthly electric cost is the pain. And there's some variations of this because, sometimes you can be more specific. So what is their electric bill stopping them from doing? Or maybe there's been a recent increase in prices. So you can tweak it a bit, but generally it's something around that. So that's the pain. So the fourth key component is the hook. This is where you're starting to provide a solution to the problem. So here I've written, we do this by helping you take advantage of government incentives to install solar systems at extremely low costs so you can lower your monthly expenses and increase your profits. Again, pretty straightforward. And notice how all of these are pretty short, pretty to the point. So again, don't just copy this, but use some variation of this. And it's good to experiment. And it's good to include things which are more specific to your local market. And obviously, here we're focusing on steel companies. They have huge electric costs, so this makes sense for them. But do try and make it specific to the industry and ideally the location as well. So then the fifth part, the next step, this should provide clear instructions on what they need to do next. So again, typically this is booking a call. Here we've said allowing you to control your costs each month and essentially become your own utility. I'd love to have a chat to see how much money we can help you save each month. Let me know what time works best for you this week for a quick 15-minute conversation, and looking forward to connecting and talking soon. So we've made the barrier to taking an action pretty small. Also, notice how, I'm asking them to specify a time. You can also try giving a couple of specific possible times. So, are you free between 1 and 3 p.m. this Wednesday, for example? So sometimes that works. What we have found doesn't work so well is including a calendar booking link. That works great if people are responding to your ads and they're coming to you. But if you're going to them, then typically it's kind of asking a bit too much to get them to go to a website and do that stuff. So that's pretty much it. And I have included this PS at the bottom. So adding a PS can be quite nice. Sometimes I use this to include a link to a video, although typically I wouldn't do that in the first email. But here what we've said is government incentives and rebates don't last forever. So it's best to take advantage of them while they are still around. Good news is that the incentives are live right now. So if you're interested in reducing your electricity bill, now is the time. So it's putting a little bit of pressure there, just stating that the incentives are running out. So, it's another reason to take action rather than sitting around. So that is the first email, but, sending one email typically is not enough. Most people respond to follow-ups. So, you do want to have at least 2 follow-ups. And, 3 emails total is a good number. You don't want to just be spamming people if they are not interested at all. But also, typically, people do need a reminder to actually do something. So the second email, pretty simple, basically just following up. So what we've said is, just wanted to touch base to make sure my email from the other day didn't get buried or lost in your inbox. Let me know if you have any questions about anything on my last email, and if you have time this week for a quick 15-minute call. Looking forward to talking soon. So it's pretty simple, just like a normal person would write to someone they kind of know. and it's referencing the past email. So when we send these, we want to make sure they get sent in the same thread. So, I'll talk about that in the next module, how you technically do that, but it's basically you're continuing on the conversation so they can see the previous email. And then there's a third and final email. I just wanted to reach out one last time to quickly share a conversation I had with one of our clients, JMC Fabricators. September is usually one of the most expensive months for electricity, and they routinely spend an average of $35,000 to $40,000 on electricity. However, this year, after installing solar with us, their bill was all the way down to $3,500. That's a minimum of a 93% drop in cost, and $32,500 that goes right back into their pocket as profit. Seriously, paying for your own electricity is absurd. With government incentives and interest-free loans available, now is the time to take advantage of these programs so you can greatly reduce your utility bill for little cost out of pocket. I'd love to help you get savings like this. Let me know what time works best for you this week for a quick 15-minute call. So again, just reiterating the benefits, and here we've included a case study. So if you do have case studies, please do include them because it adds a lot more weight behind what you're saying. So we're mentioning real numbers for a very similar business to the one that we're reaching out to. So incredibly powerful to do that. The only thing that you could really add to this is by including a link to a case study video. So like I said, it's best not to do that in the first email, but in the second or third email, you can drop in a link to a video case study of more details of one or more clients. So that is an overview of how to write effective cold emails. As you can see, it's not magic, it's fairly straightforward, but it's just understanding those key points. So in the next module, we're going to be diving into the tech setup so you can actually get these emails sending out. Welcome to the tech setup for 50 to 100 emails a day module of our course. In this module, we are going to be covering the technical setup required to send out 50 to 100 cold emails a day to potential clients in order to book meetings and sell commercial solar systems. So this is where we actually start putting all the theory into action. One of the key tools we recommend for this is Lemlist, a powerful email automation software that allows you to send out personalized and targeted emails at scale. This software is easy to use, and it has a lot of features that can help you increase your response rates. Another important aspect to consider is your email sending infrastructure. We recommend using a reputable email delivery system like Google Email. So this is not Gmail, this is the paid system I'm going to show you in a second. This is going to ensure your emails are delivered to the recipient's inbox. In terms of tracking and reporting, we recommend using a tool like Lemlist, again, which allows you to track open and click-through rates, as well as to see which emails are getting the most response. This data can then be used to optimize your emails for better results. In addition, we also recommend using a CRM like my own system, Photonic Growth, to manage your leads and sales pipeline. This will allow you to track and manage your interactions with potential clients and can be integrated with Lemlist to automate your follow-up emails. In this module, we're going to go through the technical setup step by step and provide you with templates and examples to help you get started. We will also provide you with additional resources and recommendations on how to optimize your tech setup for success. By the end of this module, you're going to have a solid foundation in place to send out 50 to 100 cold emails a day and start booking more meetings with decision makers to sell those commercial solar systems. So without further ado, let's jump in and get started. First thing you are going to need is an email account to send from. So this is going to be ideally separate from your email account if you already have one that you're sending marketing emails from. So, and when I say marketing emails, what I mean is emails where someone's explicitly opted in. So there is always a chance with cold email that the reputation of your email account can take a hit. And that means that more of your emails are either going to go to spam, worst case scenario, or they're going to go into the updates folder, or they're just not going to hit the main inbox. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure that the reputation of your sending email system stays good, but there's always a chance. And so
best thing to do is to set up a separate domain. So just go to GoDaddy. I like to use Gandhi to buy domains. Just go and buy a new domain name to use that to send from. So if you've got your solar company website and it's a .com, maybe try sending from a .co domain. And it's going to then basically be the same to anyone who's receiving the emails, but just in case there are any issues, then you basically have your reputation of it protected. So that said, to actually have a email system to send from, what we use and what I personally recommend is Google Workspace. So Google loves to change the names of their products all the time. It's already been called like 3 different things. So this might change by the time you're watching this, but right now it's called Google Workspace. And if you're not familiar with it, it's like a whole system with documents, presentations, website builder. But the thing that you need is the email system. So it's basically a paid version of Gmail. If you go to workspace.google.com, then this is what you're going to need. So you go here, you just need the most basic plan. So business starter, that's fine. So it's like $6 a month. And that gets you an email account you can send from. So there are a couple of things to bear in mind when you're sending from this Google system. Firstly, you don't want to be sending like thousands of emails. Officially, the limit per day is around 200, but like I said at the beginning of this, we're going to be talking about 50 to 100. To begin with, you want to err on the side of caution and probably stick to a maximum of 50 per day. And that's where some of the personalization of the emails comes in, because if you're only sending 50 emails a day, then you do want to make sure that you give them every chance of success. That means that it's generally better if you actually add that first line of personalization, like I spoke about in the last module. So that said, you just want to go here, get started. There's some instructions once you get logged in to really simply connect up your domain name. So that's pretty straightforward. If you get stuck, feel free to email me and I will help you get this all set up. Then what you're going to need to actually send the emails, because of course, like you can just use this to send out emails one at a time, but you probably value your time a bit more than that. Plus, it's super hard to actually keep track of all the follow-ups you need to do. And like I said in the last module, what you generally need to have at least 3 to 4 emails going out, spaced out by a few days. And that's pretty hard to keep track of if you're trying to do that all manually. So good thing is there's tons of great software out there, but I personally use and recommend Lemlist. So lemlist.com. I'll have links to all these in the video resources next to this module. But basically, this is email software that lets you create sequences of messages. And this is really the only thing you need. It does have some other more complicated, more advanced features. And there is the option to do things like multi-channel outreach, where it's actually sending SMS or connecting to LinkedIn. But I'm going to focus on the email outreach side of things. And as you can see in the screenshot, basically you just create a sequence of emails, send them out, and it takes care of the rest. There is one more technical thing to bear in mind here. And what you want to do is actually warm up your inbox, warm up your sending email address. And so what do I mean by this? Well, basically all these email servers and systems out there, like Gmail, like Microsoft email, basically what they're doing is trying to provide a good experience for people who have those email accounts. And like everyone hates spam. We're not sending spam. We're sending personalized, targeted emails to people who have a high likelihood of being interested in and benefiting from a service. So we're not sending spam. But what they want to do is stop people getting spam. And so they have a whole system of various aspects, various algorithms that all try to determine how likely an email is to be spam. That's basically the end result. And so one of the things they look at is what's the ratio of emails that you're sending out to get those emails getting opened, those emails getting replies. And in the case of Gmail, are those emails actually getting moved to the primary folder? So if you use Gmail, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Basically, emails that look promotional, Gmail will try to put them in the promotions folder or the updates folder. Or if they look really dodgy, puts them in spam, and people basically never, I mean, personally, I never even look in that folder. So what this warm-up process does, and there's a whole section on the website here that explains it, but basically what it does is it sends emails back and forth between your email account and other people's accounts who are using Lemlist as well. You're going to start getting random emails in your inbox, and there's a way to set it up so you don't really see them, but you'll get emails from other people, and it just looks like random writing in them. It's all written by an AI, but basically what it does is it sends out emails from your account, it sends emails to your account, and in both cases, if they land in spam, then it clicks a little thing in Gmail and say, hey, I actually want this email, it's not spam. And it moves it out of the updates folder into the primary folder. And it does that with your emails. It does that with the emails you're getting from these other users. And the end result of that is that then Gmail starts to think that, oh, your emails that you're sending out, there's a pretty good ratio of these emails getting moved out of spam if they're landing in spam, getting moved out of the updates folder into the primary folder. And also, pretty much all of the emails that this person's sending out are getting replies. So these emails must be wanted. And in fact, the replies are all positive. They're asking for more information and things like that. So it's all the algorithm is gonna go, oh, this person, like, whenever they send out emails, they should probably go in the primary folder. They should not go in spam. You don't really need to worry about the details. So sorry if that was like an information overload. Basically, this comes with Lemlist. You just hit a switch and turn it on, and then you don't really need to worry about it. The only thing you need to really be aware of with this is that you need to just let it run for a while. If you have a brand new email account, I'd recommend letting it run for at least a week, ideally a bit longer than that. That's all you really need to know about it. So back to Lemlist, just go ahead, sign up for this. The current pricing, based on the value that you'll be getting out of this is pretty reasonable, I think. So you just need this basic plan to start off with. And, like all these softwares, you got a yearly discount if you want it. So when you log into this, I'll show you my account. So this is what it looks like when you've actually signed up. So you just want to go over to settings, and then you can add your email provider here. So basically there'll just be a button to add your Gmail account. That's all you really need to do, and you should be good to go. And then you want to go into Lemwarm and make sure that is turned on. Like I said, let it run for about a week. This is what it looks like. So you can see that it's been sending, I can't see what time period this is over, but it sent like over 2,000 emails, and like only 1 or 2 have landed in spam over the last few months. So there's 3 I can see. And then most of them are going in the inbox here. And the replies, same thing, like 1 or 2 went in spam. So and it gives you a score. So it's pretty good here. And it's apparently saved 5 emails from going into spam. This is what you want to see. So currently it's running. You just want to leave it running the whole time, basically. There's some other features in here, like you can check your emails all set up correctly, but basically, yeah, so that's all good. So sometimes if you do ever get marked as spam, you can actually go to the specific website that marked you as spam, and you can actually say, maybe you should take me out. And sometimes they do that. Anyway, this is getting a little too technical. You don't really need to deal with this. You basically just have this turned on. Back to Lemlist. This is what it looks like when you start a new email. So I'm just going to go new campaign, give it a name. So like commercial solar example. And it will just take you through step by step. So you can import a list, and I'll show you the list building in a second. But for now, I'm just going to click manually, and you can, you'll be able to write email addresses in here. The most likely way is going to be from a CSV file here. And you just upload a list. And do you want to enrich your leads? No, I'm fine, thanks. I don't need that. Duplicates, don't want any duplicates. And I'm going to leave this as a no for now, but we'll talk about the CRM options in a second. I'm going to choose the schedule here. So this basically just makes it look more natural and sends emails out at the right time. So
you can set this depending on your geography, but New York, Eastern time, like that's probably fine. Not sending emails on weekends. Email address, that's fine. If you've got more than one email address in there, you choose the right one. And we're good to go. So we just create the sequence. And then as you can see, we've got a bunch of different options here for creating emails or doing actions. There's some more advanced ones here, but basically we just want to send emails. So I'm going to click a blank email. The subject, you only want to write this in the first email. That means that the rest of the emails are going to be replies. So let's go ahead and take the example from the previous module that I was going through. So quick question, and then I'm just going to copy and paste all of this into Lemlist. And then with these variables here, I don't want it to just say name. That's going to be super embarrassing. So what you want to do here is, it's up here, yeah. So you click first name, and let's put it in there, but you get the idea. It needs to go there. So these are going to get obviously replaced by the data from your list. So personal line, I don't know if we've got this set up, but basically, yeah, it's called Icebreaker. So again, let's put it in the wrong place. I would just delete this whole thing and then put Icebreaker. And for some reason, it keeps putting it in the subject line, but you just got to copy and paste it if it does that. So my name is Duncan, and I run Tesla. We work with steel companies like, again, going to replace this with the variable now from the list. So you should have this in your CSV export. So companies like company name, and make sure the formatting is right there. Cool. We do this by helping you to take advantage of government incentives. Cool, that's fine. That's fine. Cheers, Duncan. Cool, that's it. So then you just want to add in your rest of your emails. So I'm going to add a new step. I'm going to put a delay of like 3 days. Bearing in mind, this also takes into account your schedule. So if we're not sending on weekends, it's going to, if it like sent this on a Friday, it would not include the weekends in this number here. So another blank email. This time, leave the subject blank because we want it to reply in the same thread so they see all the emails. So same thing again, just gonna copy and paste all of this in, oops, wrong window. Where did I go? This one. So cheers, Duncan, and hi, we want the first name. Hi, first name. Make sure you don't add any extra spaces here because sometimes that's easy to do. Add a new step, 3, and then we'll add in the last follow-up email. So you can experiment with different delays between these emails, but I like to use 3 or 4 days, excluding weekends. So I'm going to put the first name in again there, first name variable. Cool, just check there's nothing else. And then that's it. And you can obviously do all the normal email stuff here. So if you did have that case study, like you could, select this, click the link and then put the link to it as well. And it's going to tell you when you start sending these out, it's going to give you a whole dashboard with statistics. It's going to tell you like what the open rate percentage is and how many people clicked your link and all that kind of thing. So I'm just going to save this. If you want to try out some different subject lines or different email content, you can click this AB icon here. And then it's going to create another version that you can like put a different subject line in there. I'm not going to do that on this one. I'm going to save that. And then I don't have any leads in this right now, but if I did, you'd go to review and just check that it all looks good. And then you click these review buttons and then you can press start and that's it. Start sending out. So that's really all there is to it. And then you just got to wait for those replies to come in and monitor your stats and everything like that. So here's an example of what the stats can look like. This is actually not a Solar campaign, it's a software campaign that I did because the Solar campaigns are actually sent out from a client's email account. So I'm going to show you that. But this is a SaaS campaign that I did. So it's going to show you like the number of emails that were sent, how many were open, the percentage of open rates, click-through rate, and the reply rate, and how many people were interested. So when replies come through, you can actually go and if the person's is interested in setting up a meeting, you can click the thumbs up button that comes up and then it adds to your statistics here. So you can see, I mean, you're not probably going to get these kind of statistics. This is a insanely good campaign. Like even the open rate, I mean, anything over 50% is good. If it's below that, you want to tweak things. You can also click this. This is like this naughty and nice icons. So you can click this to see the kind of bad ones. So we had 5% not interested, 1 email bounce, 2%. Again, you want to keep an eye on the bounce rate. If it gets above, I think it's above 20%, Lemlist will actually shut you down. Like just the campaign, nothing too bad. And that's just to, again, protect the reputation of your sending address. That's all there is to it, really, in terms of sending emails. I'm going to, in a second, I'll show you actually, we'll go back a step and I'll show you how to set up the lead list if you are using software to build your lead list rather than working with a list builder. But in terms of sending emails, this is pretty much it. So if this is how you're choosing to do things, you don't need that software, then I recommend just going and getting your list of contacts and setting up Gmail or Google for Work, email, your domain, and getting it all set up in Lemlist. And you should be good to go. But if you want to see how to actually efficiently get lists of leads very cost effectively, then continue watching. Now, if you want to use software to build your lists of leads instead of or as well as working with a list builder, then again, there's a variety of different tools. The one that I recommend is Closely. So they also have a LinkedIn functionality, which I will talk about later. But the main thing that we're going to be focusing on here is the lead finding tool. So if you go to closelyhq.com, then you're going to do a little bit of digging. I don't know why they have their website like this, but basically to sign up, you need to go to pricing. And you can see here, again, there is a bit of a cost to it, but you should find that the return on investment is pretty strong here. So you can actually get started with a free account and it gives you 50 credits per month. So each credit, I believe, is 1 lead with an email address found. And they let you connect your email account, but it doesn't really do anything with the LinkedIn account. I think it just lets you contact people that you already have in your network. Whereas if you have the next level up, then that is when it starts to, you can do more features with LinkedIn. You can do automated outreach, but that's not what we're talking about today. We are focusing on the lead finding things. So best thing to do is just set up a free account. You can preview the quality of the leads. You can get 50 free leads. So that is a good place to start. And we will be taking these leads and importing them into Lemlist. So basically, to get started, sign up, and then once you have your account, you want to go over to here to the lead finder. And there is a bunch of boxes here where you basically put in your ideal kind of lead, and then it will return some possible leads for you, and you can then choose them. So let me just show you that step by step. So I'm going to go with United States as the location. Company revenue, let's try 10 million to 50 million, and let's say 1 to 10 million as well. And industry, let's try, do we have manufacturing in here? So we go electrical/electronic manufacturing. So let's also then filter it by job title. So let's try Chief Financial Officer, CFO. So we've got a lot of different versions, but let's try Chief. Cool. So that should be enough to get some results. So I'm going to put that all in and then click search. and it's going to take a little while to find some people. So it's found 241 leads. So as you can see, it's blurred out the email addresses because until you actually select each lead and decide to export their email address, it doesn't take any credits from your account. So you can kind of get a sense of who's out there with certain searches without committing to actually using up your credits, which I think is a nice feature. So what you can do is you can do them 25 at a time by default. So if you just select like that, but you can also do up to 500 at a time. So let's just start with the first 25. And what I'm going to do is click open and save. And then I'm going to make oh, looks like I already have a CFO list from food companies, but let's do CFOs. Manufacturing. Select that list and then open and save. And then if I go to my lists, oh, somehow my credits just went up. So don't know why that is, but hopefully that happens to you too. So we've now got a list here. I will probably blur these names out for the video just to avoid any privacy, GDPR kind of issues, but trust me, they are here. So this is all contacts, but actually we want to just select the list I just made. So what I'm going to do is just check that these are all okay. If you want, you can verify them, and that makes it a little bit safer to send to, because there's certain emails that, it kind of guesses, or, they could be people who have potentially left, or it could be like a generic email address. So in that case, sending to too many of those email addresses that turn out to not be quite right, that can potentially, again, make it harder for you to hit the inbox in general. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to export the whole list and click all records. But what you can do is click valid, and that's going to focus on just the ones which are definitely 100% good to send to. So I'm not going to do that for now, just for an example, and I'm going to click export, and that's going to let me download them. So once you've got that CSV file downloaded, what you are going to need to do is open it up in Google Sheets or Excel or Numbers or whatever your favorite spreadsheet software is. But I'm going to be using Google Sheets, so I'm just going to need to modify a couple of columns. And if you are doing the personalization with the individual personal lines, this is where you can add them in. So I'm going to just go ahead and import a CSV here. So this is the one we just downloaded. And just replace the whole sheet because we don't have anything in there. And then we should have all the different columns. So we've got the company name. Cool. So two things you want to do. If you are going to be adding the personal line, I would add a column called icebreaker and write stuff for each one. So just paste this in here or have your researcher go ahead and add these in. I'm not going to do that right now. What I do want to do is make sure that the company name is correct. So if you spot any, like this one, like this probably isn't how you would normally talk about this company, like DTS in brackets, Diversified Technical Systems Inc. So just call it DTS. We want to get rid of that from it. And same thing there. So you can just do a little bit of cleaning up because you're going to be mentioning this company name in the email. So I don't know why Closely does it like this, but it's all lowercase. So how you fix this in Google Sheets, and it's going to be similar in Excel and there's other softwares, but in here what you do is make a new column. It doesn't really matter where you make it, but I'm going to rename this one to company lowercase and then call this one company, and then press equals and then you type proper and then select this column here, and it should then suggest to fill it all in like that. If it doesn't do that, just click this little corner and drag it down. And now your CSV file or your spreadsheet is ready to go. So just download this again as a new CSV file. And obviously, like it's easier to do this when in bigger batches. You don't want to do this 25 at a time. You want to do this 500 at a time. But just as an example here, gonna put that, and then go over to Lemlist, and I think I prematurely added these leads, so I'm just going to delete them. And you obviously won't be doing this. Then you want to go ahead and import. So I'm going to upload a CSV, and this time it's the right one with all the right fields, and the company name is going to look good. So just make sure that these fields get mapped correctly. So icebreaker, first name, company. Cool. So these are all now capitalized, and it won't look weird when you use it. So company name is what it should be. And yeah, it's already used, but this is the one that we want. And email, just check that's the right one. So email should be work email. Click yes, and then save. 5 need to be ignored. Yeah, they're not valid. So we're going to import 20 leads. Right. And then go to review. And then we should have, great. So steel companies like Romeo Power Technology. Awesome. So these are all now looking good. And, so let's say I've checked this one and I'll just double check it's paused. Yep. So I've checked this one and I want to send this one out. So I just click review. And then when I go back to the reporting mode, you can see basically there is 5% of the leads. So 1 out of 20 is reviewed. The rest of them need to be reviewed. And if I wanted to actually go ahead and send these, I would just click unpause, and that would start sending. So that is how you go ahead and grab lists of lead from Closely, tidy them up, and then get them imported and sending out. So by this point, you should be ready to go, whether you're building your list with a list builder from Upwork or whether you're using software like Closely. So the best thing now is to go ahead, download some leads, build some emails, and get sending and hopefully booking some appointments.